Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. This is the Hebrew Jamaican Coolie, back again with another video. And right now I want to talk about the spirit of idolatry. The spirit of idolatry. What do I mean by that? What do I mean by the spirit of idolatry? I want to talk about dating in particular, and the gender I want to talk about is the female gender when it comes to idolatry. Now, we see and realize that a lot of statistics are coming out that it's saying that women, by the year 2030, 45% of women are going to be single and childless. And when you look in the current dating atmosphere, you can actually see why it's going to be like that. And the reason it's going to be like that is because of the spirit of idolatry. And I know a lot of you are asking me, what do I mean by that? What do I mean by the spirit of idolatry? What do I mean when I say the spirit of idolatry when it comes to these women? Right? Well, here's what I'm saying. You see, what's going on is a pedestalization of the females and the demonization of men. Now, I'm not here to say which gender is the prize and which gender should be doing this and doing that. I am just telling you what's actually going on right now and what's causing the dating era to basically crash, or has been crashing for quite some time now, where, you know, we came from dating to hookup culture to sleeping around culture to bam, it's completely crashing right into the ground. Now, why is that happening? All right, let's delve deep, let's dissect, let's disassemble, let's break apart, and let's talk about why this is happening. So the oversimplification is basically the overvaluing of one's self. The overvaluing of one's self. And I've spoken about this many times. I've spoken about this many times. I've talked about this many times. Right? It's the overvaluing of one's self. What do I mean by that? Somebody acting as if they are more than they actually are. And because of that, the results that they are getting is not matching how they feel or how they perceive what they actually are. Now, for quite some time, you have men like Derek Jackson and other men of that sort telling women that they are goddesses, they can do what they want, they should want this and they should want that, and if a man can't provide this and a man can't provide that, then that man is dusty, that man is worthless, that man is beneath you, and that man is not worthy of you, right? Because of people like Derek Jackson. Derek Jackson allowed women that shouldn't have a voice to voice their nuisance all over the internet and the dating market, right? So we need to go into this a little bit more. What am I talking about? All right, let's break it down. Let's talk about a robust woman, an overweight woman, an unattractive overweight woman. So let me be very clear with this. You have a lot of women who are actually overweight, but they have a very attractive faces. But a lot of women don't understand that a man really likes a woman's body to be attractive. And when you're overweight, you are not attractive to every single man. You're going to be attractive to some men. And those men are in the minority. Right? Those men are in the minority. And when I say minority, it's like a 0.1% of men that are attracted to these women. And one of the main reasons why you're seeing a lot of men pop up like talking about being attracted to these women is because we are now forced. We're being forced to like these women that basically you don't want the shame of coming out and telling these women, listen, you ain't my type, you don't look attractive, I don't like you, you look disgusting, etc. So because of that trend of forcing men to like things that they don't like, we now have an era in which you have a lot of men that don't like these women, and they're basically pretending to like these women, and they're pretending to uplift these women, and they're pretending to find these women attractive, when in reality they don't. And that's the truth. Alright? So we're still on the topic of a woman who is overweight and she's unattractive, right? Then an overweight and unattractive woman will basically speak to a man who is, say, let's say average looking, and say that this guy is beneath her because he's no Brad Pitt. He's no Brad Pitt, right? He's no Brad Pitt. But you're what's that woman's name again? The one with the thick lips, the white woman with the thick lips again. That thing there, all the children that basically she basically adopt all the African kids and stuff. You guys know who I'm talking about. Angela Jolie, yeah. Angela Jolie. You're no Angela Jolie. You understand? But you are claiming that the man don't look like a Brad Pitt. Alright? So a lot of these women basically, they look like they basically ate the table, and then they're claiming that whenever a guy says to her, what is it that you actually bring to the table? Well, lots of women do not understand when a man asks that question, he's not even talking about money. A lot of women don't understand that when a guy asks you what you bring to the table, he's not talking about money. That's not what he's talking about. A lot of women get that wrong. A lot of women think that when a man says, what do you bring to the table, that he's talking about money and sustainability of the relationship, etc. Well, he is talking about sustainability of the relationship. But when a man asks you what you bring to the table, he's talking about peace of mind, attractiveness, and the ability to get along with him and not bring shame to him while you're out in public. A lot of women miss that. So when you ask a woman basically, what exactly do you bring to the table? You're asking me so many things, but what is your offer? What is it that you're going to add to this relationship? Because you're asking for so many things, but you seem to have nothing. So when a man is basically asking, what is it that you bring to the table, since you're asking so many things of me, and she basically going to look at you and say, what does she bring to the table? She is the table. It's basically a double negative to a man. Because when the man looks at you, he's basically, when he's asking that question, it's a rhetoric question. Because no real man is going to ask you that if he really checks for you. If a guy really and truly checks for a girl, he will never ever, and you learn this, women, you learn this. If a guy really and truly checks for you, he will never ask you what you bring what you bring to the table. He will ask an unattractive woman, a loudmouth woman, a so-called independent woman who is basically making so many demands from a man, what she bring to the table, because he already knows. It's a rhetorical question, because he already knows she doesn't bring anything to the table. Nothing of peace. Because when a man is asking that, he's basically asking you, what is in it for him to date you? That's what the man is asking. Basically, a man is telling you that he is not willing to basically put his peace aside to date a woman who is acting in the way that you're acting today. There is no man on this earth that check for a woman that is going to sit down and ask her, what do you bring to the table? Only men who basically see a woman as a problem, an annoyance, a nuisance is going to ask that woman, what do you bring to the table? But again, women, he already has the answer. You bring nothing to the table. You offer nothing to the table. You contribute nothing to the table. You understand? And that was a rhetorical question for the man. Come on, guy, pull over. Yeah, so dude, you could have crashed a while ago. Yo, that guy driving, why is that guy driving like that? He could have crashed a while ago, you know. Anyway, people, so let's get back to what I'm talking about in terms of women overvaluing themselves. When I was growing up, especially in the 90s, when an unattractive girl, when a girl that was not attractive was around, she actually knew. She knew her place. A lot of unattractive girls knew their place. When they went into a group that they considered those men attractive, or they considered the people in the group attractive and they knew they weren't attractive, they actually knew their place. They knew that if they liked a guy, there would be a different way to let this guy know that I like you and I'm about to keep it on the down low for you. And I'm telling you from experience, because many women who weren't attractive, they approached me in a very, very quiet manner, discreet manner. They didn't come out into the open and be like, yo, you, I'm the most attractive person and you should be lucky to be with me. Nope. That's what I'm telling you, that like not even modern women, like the women of today, don't have any blasted sense. If there's anything that men respect more about women, is a woman's discretion with how she approach him. I'll always yo, I've gotten so many girlfriends who approached me with discretion. We're at Bible study at church. There was a girl who approached me. She didn't understand like what I was saying in terms of like when I was explaining a Bible verse in the Bible study. And she approached me, she sat beside me, and she started to just talk to me and say, hey, listen. And this girl know who she is. She said, hey, listen, you know, I didn't understand what you were saying. Were you saying this and this and this and this and this? Could you explain it to me a little bit more? And from that conversation, it built right up into a relationship with that girl. You understand? But anyway, she wasn't unattractive. But I'm saying that the women of today are not discreet women. They're blunt. And they don't have any sense. They don't know how to speak to men. Women nowadays don't know how to speak to men. Because they're told that men are beneath them. So because they're told that men are beneath them, they speak any and every whichever way they want to speak to men. And then the reaction that they get is a man who completely ignores them. Because there are times a man just not going to even argue with you. He's not going to argue with you. He's not going to go back and forth with you. He's not going to have a conversation with you. He is going to right out completely and rightfully ignore you. Too many women, too many ugly women, and I'm being straight up about this. Too many unattractive women are running their mouths about what they want in a man and can't stand up to anything of any notch of a standard of what a man seeks in a woman. Not to say that you're only unattractive, but you're loud, you're vulgar. Yo, my wife knows for a fact. My wife knows for a fact, and she says this about me all the time. I know you don't like vulgar women. She knows that. So whenever she sees me, where she notices that I look at certain women that are vulgar, it's not that I'm attracted to them. It is that I am looking at them with extreme disgust. She never worries about stuff like that because she knows I'm not attracted to a vulgar woman. She knows I'm not attracted to a vulgar woman. So she's never worried about anything like that. She's never worried about anything like that. Right? But we have too many vulgar women. And men that are praising these vulgar women with their nasty attitudes, their nasty talking points. Right? And these women are single. None of them have men. Or if they have a man, it's not a man of integrity. Because you see, my friends, listen to me, brothers. You don't need to have a lot of money to be a man of integrity. Because I don't have a lot of money. I don't have a lot of money. But I'd be damn sure there are certain women that I'm definitely not talking to. Even though I'm broke. I'm sorry. I don't care if she has a lot of money. I don't care if she has a degree or a bachelor's or a doctorate or anything like that. That don't move me. Wealth don't move me. Education don't move me. You understand? You'll have a lot of women who are so-called educated but are vulgar to the bone, and it turns me off. I don't want even, like, there are times I move out of a room. I leave a room because of women who are vulgar. I cannot stand them. I cannot stand them. You understand? And these women who are online, overvaluing themselves, they don't know what their place is in the dating market. And that's why a lot of men always troll these women. A lot of men troll these women online. Why? Because we can't come out and openly say, yo, that girl ya look like trash. Yo, that girl ya look like garbage. Yo, that girl ya look like say she come out from underneath a dirty car. You see me? Because what? Our voice is silenced, and how dare we have an opinion or a standard about what we want in a woman or what we want her to look like. You see me? A lot of women are overvaluing themselves when it comes to the dating market. There's a difference between confidence and overvaluing and pedestalizing yourself in the dating market. We need to know the difference. There's a big fat difference between confidence, overvaluing, and pedestalizing. You understand? A lot of women are overvaluing themselves and they don't look the part. And that's what a lot of men are trying to tell you. They're trying to tell you this, but you're not hearing. And that's why a lot of women are single right now. They're single because they bought into a lie that no matter what they look like, they are a goddess and they should be worshipped. And that's the next thing too. No human, and I've said it before, and I'm going to say it again. I need you to understand this line, right? If you breathe the same air as me, if you drink the same water as me, if you have to use the bathroom to pee and take a shit, if you have to take a shower to be clean, you are no more human than I am. You are no more valuable than I am. You're not a god. You're not a god. You should not be worshipped or adorned. You understand? I don't know you and I don't care. If you breathe the same air and drink the same water, that means that if you step outside and a bus knock you over, you're going to pass away. Just as how I would pass away if that were to happen to me. And that just tells me that you're not as important as you think you are. You're no more important than I am. If that can happen to you and happen to me, you're just the same. And the more a lot of men begin to understand and realize that even these good-looking women breathe the same air and drink the same water as you, are just as human as you, you'll start to understand to stop pedestalizing women in general. Okay? I'm tired of telling you people, this is the mindset you should have when you speak to anyone. Everyone, your bosses, anybody you go on a date with, whatever it is, it can go left field. Don't care about it. Move on to the next. She breathe the same air, she drink the same water. She's nothing special. You understand? You'll find somebody else that breathe the same air and drink the same water again. Because unless them breathing something different, that means that they must have cancer. That's the only reason why they be breathing something different. People, try to understand your value as a person. Alright? Women, do not overvalue yourself. Be confident, yes. Have certain standards, yes. A man should have a job, yes. You understand? I believe that you shouldn't talk to a girl unless you have a job. I don't believe that nobody should be talking to nobody unless I'm not going to accept any guy talking to my daughter unless them work somewhere and they must have a decent job, because I'm going to look at them and say, yo, if you marry my daughter, how are you going to take care of her and any possible children that you're going to have with her? Because kids are not cheap. Kids cost money, and as the value of life increases, so does your job and your money must increase too. You understand? Him don't have to be rich. Him don't have to be rich to talk to my daughter. I don't believe in that. You understand? As a matter of fact, if a wealthy man comes around my family and them things here, I'm going to scrutinize him more. Because I will see him as a person who will think my daughter is a plaything and can be thrown away with because he has money. You understand? And I'm going to scrutinize him more. I'm going to grill him more. I'm going to watch him more than I'd watch a regular guy with a regular job. And then I'd do the same to somebody who doesn't have a job. That means that you want to live off my freaking daughter. You want to live off of her trust fund. You want to live off of the wealth that my wife and I created for the family. You understand? I don't believe in that. I don't believe in any man talking to any woman and you don't have a job. You understand? I don't believe in any man talking to any woman and you don't have a clear direction of how you're going to live your life or how you're going to take care of my daughter and stuff like that. I don't believe in that. I'm sorry, I just don't. Anyway, guys, I'm back at my old job. I've started working here again 2 weeks ago, but I only have a couple of days here. I have walked off my last job and I'm going to talk about it soon. I'm going to talk about it soon because it's a tragic situation too as well that made me walk off. And these people tried to make me suck it up and tell me to come back and come back to work, and I told them kiss my ass. Not. Anyway, this is the Hebrew Jamaican Coolie. Peace. I am out.